You know, I got to talk to Craig a little earlier, and he shared some things with me that I didn't know about, and I love you for doing it, because it went right in line with, you know, when we started talking about Craig on the board and looking at his accomplishments and all the, you know, the things that he accomplished in his racing career from 1980 to 1991 at Lone Star BMX in the San Antonio area. It's just phenomenal. And that's all fine and good. And they're great accomplishments in the sport. But probably for me personally, when I think about Craig Marsh, I think about his mom.
Yes.
You know, and people have talked about team mom and dad, you know, but I think about Craig's mom, because Craig's mom was either in sign-ups or on the scoring table, or she was always involved, and she was always behind Craig from day one. From day one. And it just exemplified what all our mothers in BMX have been. So, man, they left me. And we got some special ones sitting here at these tables, and I love you. I love you for it. As I said, Craig is you know, whenever we went to San Antonio, or whenever we went to any other track in Texas, there was Craig. And Craig had local sponsors. I always remember you in the GT colors. That's what I always remember. And you were always a competitor. And the accomplishments that you made stand by themselves, my friend. And I'm happy for you. Come up here, Craig.
Gets me a little emotional talking about my mom. First of all, I would like to thank Mark so much for putting
Speak up, Craig. Speak up, baby. Come on.
I really appreciate this Hall of Fame, and I really want to thank the board members, and I'd like to congratulate all the riders with me here that are being inducted tonight. Talking about my mom, I have to start off thanking my mom, God rest her soul, for starting me out in what amounted to be a great career in BMX. I was born here in Dallas, and my mom got divorced when I was just under 7 years old, and she moved us to San Antonio in '76. And for my 11th birthday, she got me an old mongoose with Moto mags. If anybody can remember what those were. 1980, I started racing at the original Lone Star BMX. And with us being in a new town, BMX was a great way for us to make friends. It wasn't long before we met some great people like the Andersons, the Jenkins, the Penningtons, and I made a lot of great friends, and a couple of them are here tonight. There were actually times when I thought my mom liked the sport more than I did, because she started making all these friends at the track, and she would drag me out there when there were times when I didn't feel like going, but she wanted to see her new friends, so she would make me go out there. And I'm appreciative of that, because the more she took me out there, the better I got. It wasn't long before she was volunteering at the track, and doing the scoring, as Dugan said, and working the registration booth, and she kind of made that her job, and so she had a reason to go to the track, and so there were times that she just said, I have to go work, so you got to go. And before I knew it, I was a full-time racer, racing 5 to 7 times a week. It was a blast. I mean, I loved doing things like the Texas tour in the early 80s. I still have a couple of those red line belt buckles. I don't know if anybody remembers those. But going to Austin, the old VFW track, the original capital city that was by the Lubies. I don't know if anybody remembers that one, but that was a lot of fun. And the people in Austin were so great, like Ed Sigman, there's Eddie here, and his dad was just the greatest you could ever meet. When Ken Groves and Dugan got into the sport, it really made the sport a lot of fun. They would do the announcing, and they made us sound like superstars, and it was just a lot of fun just hearing your name and being called out by these guys. It just really made you feel special. And back in those days, my class was always stacked. I mean, I had like Bernard Allen Anderson, who's here tonight, and I would have Jimmy Chenkin, which is a blast from the past, Ricky Davis, who's here tonight with me,
Mike Grover,
James Foreman, and Mike Grover also.
woo!
And many more. I mean, every night it was a stacked moto. It was like a double points, triple points race every night. In 1982, my mom married Jim Sanders. His son Jeff was racing at the time. With his son Jeff racing, it was great for me because it was extra support for me. And in 1983, we opened up the bicycle shop, Action Bikes, and I don't know if you checked it out. It was in Universal City. It's still there today. Jim sold it back in '96 to a good friend of ours, Howard Smith.
Yeah, Howard!
The cool thing about having that bike shop was when I was 13 years old, Jim was able to like enforce child labor on me, and I was working for him and building bikes, and I was learning about bikes, and that was back in the day when mountain bikes were just becoming popular, and freestyle was just becoming popular, and it was really good times. Jim was a great stepdad to me. He supported me a lot in my racing career. He took me to nationals all over the country, and he actually bought me my first 2 cars, and he was just great. I lost him a few years ago to lung cancer, but I really do appreciate all of his support in my years of racing.
Yeah. Craig Marsh. Craig Marsh.
The most fun I had racing was when I started to ride for Scotty Patterson. He's here tonight. Scotty was a great sponsor, and it was such a neat team to be a part of. We would get in the van and go all over the state and compete for state or national trophies at the nationals, and team trophies were always fun to obtain. I remember one race where it was in Midland, and I had won the national cruiser, and he met me at the finish line and was high-fiving me and hugging me like I was his own, but we had won the team trophy that day, and that was just a blast. It felt like we had won the lottery, and in a sense, we really had won the lottery. It was cool. But I really enjoyed going to the nationals and bumping elbows with the likes of Doug Davis, Billy Griggs, Mike Keane, Terry Tennant, Steve Feldman, to name a few. That was really fun. I'll never forget the time that I raced with Kevin Hull. He was older than me, but it was always a lot of fun. But in 1986, I got the better of him at Maine and Cowtown, last USBA Grand National, and I beat him to the line, and he was so upset. He was so pissed off. But it was really cool. I really relished that day. What's really neat is, you know, Scotty being here tonight, and 3 of his team riders are now in the Texas Hall of Fame, Kevin, and now Billy and myself, and I couldn't be more proud. It's just awesome. In 1991, my career had a sudden ending. My mother, who Doug Dugan spoke so nicely about, she passed away in July of 91, and that was it for me. I couldn't imagine going back up to the track and not seeing her there. I hung up my leathers, put my stuff away in boxes, and that was just it for me.
No.
I had a great career. It was 11 years. It was a lot of fun. But I know that my mom's looking down on me, and I just thank
Craig
God
Marsh.
that I had her.
Craig Marsh.
I had a lot of great competitors, and most of my strongest competitors became my best friends, and 2 of them are here tonight, Ricky Davis and Mike Grover. It hasn't been a week in the last 35 years that we haven't touched base or seen each other in person.
Yes.
So BMX has just been great.
Hey.
With all that, I just, again, like to thank my extended family. There's my sister's here, her brother-in-law, and
Craig Marsh.
my niece Kristen, and my nephew Austin. It's great to have you here. And along with Genevieve and JP and David, I really appreciate it, and Katie as well, coming here and spending this night with me.
Craig Marsh.
Yeah,
Let me say this. Craig Marsh.